Be very quiet, everybody. We don't want to startle it. It likes the fruit.
I'll go. What is that?
I don't automatically say all the Titans were bad because they messed up this world. I don't know. I don't know what the plan was. I don't know what their agenda was. I'm not sure what was happening.
Jdreamers likes to follow the trope of never actually committing to a stance, while very obviously having a committed stance. If you've been watching this video series up until this point, you know Jdreamer's opinions on these mythical creatures and beasts of lore. However, he doesn't want to actually say anything lest he get caught in conflicting ideas and then called out on it. So this is his way of securing himself from himself.
I do know that it pissed off the other beings that were living in that world, as is to be expected. Those beings are known to us today as the various gods of various cultures and religions and belief systems.
Jdreamers is stealing this concept from various ancient mythologies, as he just said, right? The story of the Titans and the gods in, let's say, Greek mythology is pretty well known. He doesn't take a lot of Googling, a lot of Wikipedia reading to understand these conflicts. However, what he's lacking is something beyond that source. He lacks information to back his claim beyond A, the ancient religions, and B, his own messed up interpretations of the various rocks we have.
A lot of people will have asked me, what do the Titans eat? Because they imagine Titans walking around today. Now today, if there was hundreds and hundreds of Titans walking around, they wouldn't have much to eat, would they? Of course they wouldn't. But back then, they had to have been sustained.
Hot takes.
What do we see the evidence of aside from just giant rock beings? We see giant rock vegetables and plant life.
Yes, we do have evidence of larger plant life in the past. For example, the Carboniferous Age. That being said, the size of veggie you would need to feed many Titans the size of mountains is not existing. It does not happen. And Jdreamers provides zero evidence for it. Just as you've seen throughout this series, his best arguments are a flip book he bought probably off of Amazon that's intended for children.
They had no reason. They don't explain it whatsoever. It's just in there, right? Why did they slip that in there? Why did they put all of the work into designing that to put that into the movie when it's not even discussed? It's not even talked about. It's not a part of the major plot line. Look, see? Like you can see the people way off in the distance over there. Let me tell you why. Because it's true.
Here we have Jdreamers again employing another very common conspiracy theorist argument that nothing does not have a purpose. You can't just have a gigantic statue in the background of a scene in a movie because it looks cool. This obviously was put there to try to pepper the truth about the fact that Titans once ruled the world. It couldn't just be the simple fact that it looks cool, and why the hell not put it in the video? No. We can't have things be that simple.
I'm not even going to try, okay, on this one, but clearly.
Man getting hit by football.
Anyhow, and Moana. I might revisit Moana. That entire movie is so esoteric. There is so much... There are so many hidden messages. The entire movie is a hidden message. It's the truth, basically.
You don't see the obvious issue with saying the entire movie is a hidden message. If the entire movie is a hidden message, it's not well hidden. And of course, Moana is not reality. This is pretty obvious, right? Our mountains don't talk. But he needs to continue pushing this narrative because it's what his followers want him to say. Don't provide any evidence. No, of course not. That's asking too much. Just tell me I'm smart and I can go about my day.
All of your support has done so much, not just to encourage me to continue sharing my path and the things that I experience with you, but there have been people that want me to be on the radio and, be on their channel and write a book, which I'm doing, and I've been able to buy all of this wonderful equipment specifically for this channel in order to continue improving the quality of my videos.
And this is your reminder as to why I believe my videos are important. Sure, Jdreamers is an E-list celebrity. He is no televangelist making millions and millions and buying private jets off of the gullible masses. But people still pay him to say these things. He provides no evidence. His theories are either counterintuitive or just plain ridiculous, but he still gets money from people that I'm going to bet probably can't afford to pay him all that much. Similar to the charlatans like the televangelists, just on a smaller scale. This is my way of fighting that, maybe saving those people a few dollars and hopefully guiding them away from this path of ignorance, if you will, to a somewhat more cogent and somewhat more grounded in reality path to intelligence. Now we have ended his quote-unquote lecture and moved on to a Q&A session. Most of the answers he gives aren't actually answers, just him pontificating about some stupidity, but he does try to answer a few of those, and those questions are what I'm going to address.
What were the Titans digging in the ground for? Excellent question. I don't know the answer, but I lean towards resources.
Hot takes.
I mean, that makes sense to me. They needed resources of some type. I mean, that's what we do, right? We dig into the earth. We take away from the earth to build things and to make things for ourselves. And maybe those two subjects are related. The Titans did it, and curiously enough, we did it as if it's second nature. Maybe we're related.
I would make a joke about the originality of digging into the ground for something, as that's an answer to the question. But then he goes off on this weird tangent about, well, they dug into the ground, and we digging in the ground, obviously we're related to each other. I don't see how that works. I'm not related to my dog because my dog digs in the ground for a bone. In the same way that I'm not related to a turtle because they breathe oxygen. Sure, evolutionarily speaking, we're all connected, but I don't think he's getting at that. I think he's trying to go for this Nephilim product of Titans and humans approach that is, again, completely out of nowhere.
Thomas Without Doubt says, Jdreamers, I would love to hear your thoughts on what would have provoked the angels to leave their first estate. Jealousy of man's inheritance? Okay, so Thomas is talking a little bit more from a religious perspective, but when you talk about the angels, I hear the elven beings, okay? The gods who reported to their gods, or their god, or what have you, okay? And the reason that they left their estate, being their home or their houses, simply put, is we live on a huge realm, a huge plane of existence, right? And when those Titans made their way into our particular realm, for some reason they started tearing everything down. Do I think that they were just using brute force, like, oh, I hate this world, I'm just going to destroy it? No, I don't. I believe they had a purpose for what they were doing. So I'm going to leave it at that for now.
That was so terrible, I think you gave me cancer.
That's one hell of a non-answer to give. Why do you think the angels left their domain? Well, domains mean houses, and I don't think giants destroyed the world for no particular reason. That's not answering the question at all. So, to end this journey we've been on together, I want to go over a few key points as to why I think Jdreamers is so bad, and why I think it's important to tackle this sort of information. Sure, it's funny to laugh at the ridiculous stupidity on display here, but Jdreamers has a very large following. He makes his money doing this stuff, and he provides, as shown in this video, and I'll do other videos on him I'm sure, zero evidence. His claims are so empty, so lacking in nutritional calories, that it starves people. He tells you something fantastic, like out of, say, a book like Lord of the Rings. He tells you that stuff's real because it makes you feel like you're important. And he even says that, I think a video or two ago, he says about his beliefs make the world in his view so much more fascinating, and I think that's very sad. He tries to tackle a lot of geology in this particular video, and truth be told, geology is a wonderful, vast subject. If rocks are of interest to you, I suggest go to your local community college and take a short course on geology. Won't cost you a lot of money, you will learn a whole heck of a lot, and then every single time you go for a walk in the woods, you're going to find rocks that have this fascinating multi-million year story about how they got to that singular location. The world is super interesting, super complicated, and you don't need to give this charlatan money to tell you about a supposed better world that exists. His reality is false, his reality is fake, and I hope that my video in some way enlightened you to that belief.